And we're in. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Valerie, Crystal, Brandy, Matt, Joe B, Kelly, Chad and Amy,
iPhone, Zoom user,
Aaron, I see you, dog.
Penny 3.
Love you, brother.
I just want
Von
to
Von
be clear, everybody, that Penny 3
is not.
is Chad's mama.
Oh, I thought it wasn't.
Yeah, no, Penny 3 is Chad's mama. So go and say hi to Penny 3.
And say hi to Zoom user because clearly my dad's already waving.
Zoom Oh, I see Natalie's parents. They're under Zoom user. the two lovely people that are waving right now.
My dad likes to dance when there's no music.
What's going on, everybody?
Chuck Zamzow.
Karen. Okay.
Hi, Charlie. Hi, Miss Penny. Chad and Amy.
Zoom user and Penny. Hi, that's from Matt, guys. If you want to check your
Oh, how cute.
our parents, do they know how to
Definitely not. They probably don't know how to
check
use
the chat
Nope.
to see that people are chatting with them?
Katie put hi parents. Oh, happy anniversary to Katie and Julian.
Oh,
I
wow,
saw
it's your
that
guys'
today.
anniversary, huh?
It's our anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Don't ask what I did with the money my mom gave me for singing lessons. Spend it on drugs.
Oh my gosh.
What's Chuck Zamzow's background picture? Like, is that Limp
His
Bizkit?
big ass lion.
Huh? Anyways, grateful to have you all. There's Valerie Gonzalez right there. Hi, Valerie.
Hi Valerie.
How are you?
Mama G.
Crystal G.
I
Mama
love how
G.
you ask people how they're doing when they're muted.
I just want them to wave and all that, you know. I see Kat, C-A-T. Hey, Kat. Caitlin Smith, what are you up to? Smoking a little vapey vape, I see. Man, I love this meeting. I really love this meeting. Oh, hey, Amanda, what's up? The Undead Club, guys. Brandon,
Hi,
what's
Undead
going
Club.
on? And of course, I can't forget Sarah Lovely Pineapple. That is such a great name. We love you. Thanks for showing up. Just saw you on the live. Who's the girl with the big giant cat behind her? Like that?
I know her.
Oh, you know her?
I do.
Karen L.
Karen.
That's Karen.
Joby's driving. He's always doing a task.
Oh, I like this dude. He's Mike the Glock Ness monster. Like instead of the Loch Ness monster, he's the G Loch Ness monster. All right, well, let's get this party started, guys.
Get it started.
Super grateful for everyone to show up to the Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting. Means a lot to us and our recovery, and we thank you guys for showing up for your recovery. As always, the Hopeaholics podcast was started out of a tragedy. I lost my son-in-law on 9/11 of 2022 to the fentanyl crisis, to fentanyl poisoning. My 21-year-old daughter at the time found the love of her life dead from fentanyl poisoning. And God put it on my heart to start this podcast and be the voice for the people that have lost their lives and to offer hope to all of us out there that are suffering and show the world and be a voice that like recovery is possible. You know, and when I say all of this stuff too, not to dismiss in any way, shape, or form, because I embrace the 12 steps and the 12 traditions and the spirit of anonymity and the membership. And this is not a representation of Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous, but I do love the 12 steps. And in the spirit of anonymity, my name is Chad and I'm an addict. You know, that is what anonymity means to me. It means that I am no different, no better than anybody else in this room. You know, my last name is the same as most of yours. Some of you might have alcoholic. Mine just happens to be addict, but
A mess.
but alcohol is a drug.
100%.
And we are people with the disease of addiction who must abstain from all drugs in order to recover. That's how I see it.
Me too.
You know?
Same.
We have an amazing speaker tonight, and her name is
Nicole.
I was going to call her Karen.
What?
I almost said Karen.
No,
Why?
that's the girl I know.
Oh, Karen.
Karen is
Okay.
the girl I know.
Oh
on
my
this
gosh.
Zoom.
Okay. Karen, I just want
Chatty is in rare form, y'all.
where is Karen? Karen, can you raise your hand? Hi, Karen.
The cat.
Karen, my name, if you go on to the Urban Dictionary, Chad is just basically a male Karen. So me and you are kind of screwed with our names. So I love you, Karen. But yeah, there you are.
But I'm Nicole.
And
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Our guest speaker, her name is Nicole, not Chad or Karen. For those that wanted to know.
With no further ado, and before we do introduce the guest, is there any words of wisdom that you would like to say to our wonderful peeps?
Thank you, Chatty. I think I say it every single week. And it stays the same where, we're really grateful that you guys come on every single week. We love you guys. And also we get to participate in our own personal recovery as well by doing this meeting too. But it really ultimately is why it is Recover Out Loud is because it's really important for us to break the stigma and that letting people know that they're not alone and that help is available and hope is alive. And obviously we have 44 people in here tonight that feel the same way, or else you guys wouldn't be on this Zoom. And so to us, we don't take it lightly and appreciate you guys. So with that being said, those are my only words of wisdom this evening as of right now. Nicole?
Or Karen?
No, it's Nicole.
Okay. Nicole?
Okay.
Take it away.
Take it away.
Take it away.
Take it away.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name's Nicole, and I am an alcoholic. I want to thank my sobriety sister, Wendy, for, putting my name out there and giving me this opportunity to come and meet you guys and be a part of this meeting tonight. What an incredible experience it's been already, and I've been here 5 minutes, So definitely feel the love here in the room and on Zoom. I do have a sobriety date of April 11th, 2016. That's not my first sobriety date, but it is the one that I have today and I hope to keep. I have a sponsor. She is my sponsor, and I have sponsees that I also help go through the steps. I didn't think much about speaking tonight. I kind of was just busy at work and I don't know, this is probably the least nervous I've ever been and should be the most nervous in this setting. But I'm grateful to be here, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about my experience with alcohol and drugs, because drugs are also a part of my story. I don't remember exactly when I took my first drink. I do know that I started smoking weed when I was probably about in 8th grade. And I honestly don't think that was my first addiction. I don't know that it was a substance. There's always been something in my life that I've been addicted to, whether it be food, TV. Around 6th grade, 7th grade, boys came into the picture. That was a real big one. And, I was just always looking for something to make me feel like I was worthy. Something that made me feel other than the way I felt, because I didn't like the way I felt. I was always looking for validation from my mother. I was raised with a single mom, and she worked a lot. And I was an only child, and so I spent a lot of time alone unless I broke the rules and invited people over after school when I wasn't supposed to. And that's when a lot of those things started happening. My drinking probably, my drinking and drugging probably really took off maybe junior year. I got my first serious boyfriend in probably the 8th grade. And when I was 16, I got pregnant. And I remember thinking, what am I thinking? Like, what the fuck just happened? And I had just found out the day. And my mom came home from work and she said, I can see it in your eyes. You're pregnant. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she makes me take a pregnancy test and it comes out positive. And my best friend is there and she gets the phone book out because there were phone books when I was a child, when I was 16. Some of you may not know what those are, but we had phone books. And you could look up places. You know how we like Google things today? Like it was a phone book where you would go to like the, I don't know, abortion section. So anyway, she brings out this phone book and she tells my best friend, start looking for an abortion clinic because she's having an abortion. I go to my room, I'm crying. And, deep down, I know that I am not prepared to have a child. Nor do it is not my desire to have a child. It was pure, just lack of, I can't even say lack of knowledge because, I knew how you get pregnant and I wasn't being responsible. So it was just irresponsibility. And so my friend got the info and I went the next day after school. And when I went to the place and went to take the test, I noticed I was having some things go on that, don't happen when you're pregnant. And the test came out negative. And I thought, well, that's really weird, because I took a test on my own. And then my mom, and it ended up that I had a miscarriage in the middle of that night, later on that night. And I woke my mom up and I was scared and I asked her to come to the restroom and look. And she said, it's nothing. And you go back to bed. You flush the toilet, you go back to bed, and we're never talking about this again. And we never did. And that kind of, I don't know. I think that changed me. And that's when I started getting pretty heavy into smoking marijuana and drinking, weekends at parties. And then my senior year, I got introduced to meth. And very quickly, that became my life and my world. And everything else went crashing down, and that was all that mattered. And I met him, And so I met him, and we were homeless, living in my car, and motel to motel when we could gather up enough money. And it was not a good look for me, or a good feel for me. It wasn't changing the way I felt in a positive way. It wasn't making me feel better than I felt before. But for whatever reason, my desire to be wanted and needed by him and validated, I continued on that path, and and then I got pregnant. And I got pregnant, and in an instant, was able to just stop everything. And I thought this was going to be it. This was going to change me. This was going to, make me be the person, the mom, the girlfriend that I was supposed to be. And that little girl kept me off of meth for 10 years. Solely just on my being a mother and the love I had for her. However, I did continue to drink. I did continue to do other drugs here and there, but food was my go-to. And I ended up having a second child with that same boyfriend. And then we ended up getting married. And then we had a third child. And, all along, drugs and alcohol are a part of our everyday being. Somehow I was able to get a pretty decent job and keep that job. And so, I was able to sustain our family and be the breadwinner, basically. About 10 years, like I said, the oldest kept me sober for 10 years. And then I don't know, I kept finding it because somebody else in the house wasn't sober. And I'd throw it away and I'd flush it and I'd do all these things, right? But deep down, I was mad. I was mad that he could still do it and I couldn't. And that he got to, knowing that who the fuck wants to? Like I was watching him kill himself. And yet I was jealous that I couldn't because I had to be responsible and I had to be the one. And so the day came where I finally I didn't throw it away. I hid it. And then sooner or later, one day, I don't even know what it was, but I said, you know what? I have that and I'm going to do it. And I did. And then for the next 4 years, I was loaded every single day. And, when I got pregnant with our third child, I had just decided that I was going to stop. And I did cold turkey by myself. I took a week off of work and just did what I had to do at home to get through it. And I started a somewhat of a little recovery journey, but without any steps or any fellowship or any really outside help. I told the people closest to me, and they were sort of keeping me accountable. And then I had the third child, and shortly after that, I decided it was time for me to go and leave that marriage. And unfortunately, I would love to say that I left and then everything got so great and like my life totally turned around and I stayed sober, but that's not the truth. The truth is that that's when things got the worst because I felt like I'd been with someone for my whole entire adult life and that it was now time for me to have fun. And for some reason in my mind, somewhere fun looked like getting drunk, going home with people I don't know, waking up next to people I don't know, having my children in the car with me while I'm drinking and driving, not showing up to pick up my kids when it's time for them to be picked up, and in a panic trying to get another parent to take my kid home, doing all these things that like me, Nicole, the mom, doesn't do. But when I was out having fun, enjoying myself now, I was making all of these terrible decisions. And I don't know what changed or what happened. I think that the day, April 10th, no matter what I did or how much of it, it didn't stop. The pain wouldn't stop and the emotion wouldn't stop and the tears didn't stop. And so on April 11th, I woke up and instead of driving to work, I drove to treatment. And I knew about treatment because I had tried to put my husband there many times. So I knew exactly where to go. And I went there with the mindset that everything was his fault and that, it was probably all the trauma and the toxicity that our relationship had that made me do all these things and make these bad decisions, and today I know that is not the truth. It did take a few years. I spent a few years blaming and, but I am very grateful for the 12 steps. I'm glad that you mentioned that because the 12 steps are very important to me. And I love that I get to teach my children the 12 steps without really telling them it's the 12 steps, so that they can take some of that into their own lives. I took 7 months off of work when I got sober. And I was able to do, 3 meetings a day and get connected, build a foundation. And that was really important. I really have to give a lot of credit to people who go right back to their regular life because I don't know how I would have been able to do that. Since I've been sober, I've dealt with a lot of things that were very emotionally tragic. And, some of the things that when I got sober, I said, well, there's 3 things that I don't know if I could stay sober. Like if I lose my mom, if something happens to one of my children, or if I get married because, you want to have a champagne at your wedding. And, and all 3 of those things have happened to me in the past 9.5 years and I've stayed sober. And so it is possible. And, I used to think like, God, why am I so lucky? I see people come in and out and in and out. And like, how come I got to stay? How come I've stayed and I haven't, gone out? And, I don't know the answer. I used to say the same thing about, I never really got in trouble. I never got a DUI. I should have. My kids never got taken away from me. They should have been. And I used to say I was lucky, but I do have a higher power that I know has been working in my life and has been with me through the ups and downs and in between. And so, when my children go through things, I have to believe that that same higher power has them. And I don't know, being sober, I did get married, and I met my husband in the fellowship. He is also sober, and we do our best to bring that into our home. And raising children, it's difficult because Wendy and I were having a conversation on our way over, like the conversations that I have to have with my 14-year-old and her friends about not eating anything that anybody gives you and not taking it. Like, it's so sad, but it's so necessary. Like, and I'm grateful that I'm sober and I'm the mom that they know they can call, that they know it's okay no matter what happens. And, I'm able to show up for them, for my friends, today in a way that I was never able to show up before. And, this, program of Alcoholics Anonymous has absolutely changed my life, and I'm grateful. So thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was an incredible story though. And I sometimes, like, I don't ask the question because I was one of those people that was going in and out of the program, and I couldn't get it until I did, until I got the gift that I hope that everybody on this Zoom has already received or receive sometime very soon in their life, and it's called the gift of desperation. My sponsor always would point out to me that the gift of desperation is GOD, gift of desperation. And through that devastation, I finally, because the pain of remaining the same outweighed my fear of changing, I finally was able to completely and 110% surrender to the God of my understanding, and literally stop doing Chad's will and ask for help, and that's where it started for me. I reached out to a power greater than myself, and then through that, he brought the right people into my life. And I'm shortly behind you, now. I'm my clean date is June 9th of 27. So, God willing, I'll make it to 8 years. 9 years. I have 8 right now.
Yeah, but you said June 9th of 27. We're not even in the 2027.
17.
Yeah.
2017.
There you go.
20.
I knew what you meant.
He was
20,
in the future.
17.
He has a problem with his fibrillator or whatever it's called.
My flux capacitor.
Yeah, there you go.
You guys got a flux
you
capacitor, right? There's probably half the people don't even know what one is, but
Back to the Future.
Back to the
time
Future.
travel
It's
into
the
another.
device that what was his name? Dr. Brown.
No.
Brown.
Was it?
Yeah,
No, I thought it was Dr.
what was
Doc.
it? Doc. His
Doc.
name Doc.
Doc.
Yeah.
Doc.
Doc.
Something.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody put Doc Brown. There we go.
Oh, was
85 miles per hour. Yeah.
McFly. Marty McFly.
Marty McFly in the flux capacitor. If y'all haven't watched Back to the Future, you go back to 1984 and watch the movie. It's really good. I had a flux capacitor when I was in a meth-induced psychosis. It could time travel like a motherfucker. So again,
Charlie just said Dr. Emmett Brown, bruh.
Emmett Brown. Yeah, it's right there. It says it right there on the screen.
Yep.
Marty McFly. The Nikes. So with that, let's open it up. We got Sarah Lovely Pineapple, Joe B, Karen L,
Valerie.
Valerie. Let's do this thing. Sarah, how are you?
Hi guys, I'm doing great. How are you?
Amazing.
Good. Great. Thank you.
My twins are getting bigger, you guys. Look at it. I'm getting big.
Oh my,
my
God.
Yep. It's a miracle, like how God can just like work on everybody's lives after sobriety, right? Like all the miracles that happen. Um, well, I really loved your story a lot. Um, I thank you for speaking. It's crazy. Like I'm having, this is my first time like being a mom to be, so like I'm like nervous about, if I'm gonna like stay in the sobriety, and I want to, like I put it in my mind, this is the first time I've actually been this long being sober. And I've already said that, like, my kids are gonna be number one. Like I'd never want to go back to fentanyl, alcohol, or the meth. I never want to go back to any of that, because I was in it for so long that thank God I never was able to have any kids during that. But it kind of scares me sometimes. Like I've had just a couple of days ago, I actually see my dealer, like when I was picking up my meds, and I haven't seen him in like months. I'm going on 6 months being sober. And I thought like, I wasn't sure how it was going to hit me, but that was like a true test for me, you guys. And I mean, obviously I passed, but it was like, I thought that I was going to ask about, like, are you still selling this and that, like the norm, like I would always do and go back. But I didn't even have the urge or nothing like that. And he respected like everything that I'm going through. Like he never even brought up nothing, he was just like, if you ever dare call me, like I'm never going to pick up that phone call, so it was really nice that, I went through that challenge right now. And I just thought I'd share it with you guys that like, I went through like, a temptation phase, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm having like a little bit of problems with the twins right now too. So if you guys can keep that in prayer, like I would really appreciate it. I guess I'm a silent carrier for like alpha thalassemia or something. It's like a silent, like, I don't know what it is. It has to do with like my anemic, like blood anemic or something like that. And I guess from doing fentanyl for so long, like there's been a whole bunch of things going wrong with my body. So I'm just trying to make sure that the twins are okay. And just if you guys can keep that in prayer, I would really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Joe
Thank-
B. Oh,
Wait, I wanted to say thank you for being honest, because I was actually having a conversation with a previous patient client today, and they were talking about temptation. And it brings me to like the Bible verse of like our adversary, which is like the devil, is roaming around like a lion ready to devour us. And you just sparked it for me, Sarah, and also your story, because even though you were sober during your the first 10 years of your first child, but that devil is right there roaring around like waiting to devour you, and is especially when you put away and hid the stash. It's where it starts. And then all of a sudden, if we're not staying diligent and active in our recovery of doing some degree, we will falter, and he will devour us and then conquer. And then, it's very difficult for us to get back into the rooms. So it's important for us to always be honest. And like tonight, Sarah, you mentioned about the temptation and like your fear of like the twins and stuff. You definitely will be in our prayers, but I think it's also important for everybody to know that temptation is going to linger. It's in our lives, and it would be silly for us to not understand that it's going to be there, whether it's from past people or situations. And it talks about it in the book about, if we're not ready to go into certain situations, whether it's like restaurants, bars, parties and stuff, don't go. If you don't have a valid reason to go, why put yourself in a position to falter, So it's like keeping that in mind and being open and honest, and being able to speak like what you spoke about tonight, Sarah, because I think it's important. That is all. Joby, take it away.
Really quick, I want to give a shout out. Is that Circle Drive up in Lake Arrowhead right there on
Circle Drive
on the screen? What's up, guys? What's up, y'all? Welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe B.
Joby's driving. He's on a mission.
Yo, you hear me?
Yep.
What up, everybody? Sorry, the cops just passed me, and I forgot. I don't break the law no more. I don't know why I panicked.
Tell him, hey, bro, I'm in a meeting. It's okay.
I'm in the right lane with like my seatbelt on. I can't be any more square than I am right now. But it's just funny. What a good meeting, man. Because Nicole, you mentioned validation and reservations and how to have fun the way we have fun, right? The only way we know how to have fun. And then Natalie, you just mentioned temptation. And these are all the things I needed to hear because these are all the things I was dealing with the past week and really the past weekend. And, when I got sober, I was broken. I was humbled. This disease will humble you, right? And I was humbled, and I kept, over the last 2.5 years dealing with injuries and out of work and back at work and then out of work again. And I just kept telling myself, the watch validated me, the car validated me, the girl validated me. I don't need those things anymore. That's what I told myself because I didn't have them. Now, the past week, all of a sudden, here comes the temptation, right? Those things are coming again. So what do? Do I really believe the things I was saying? Or was I just saying it because it was convenient until I was tempted? So what happened this weekend? I enjoyed my weekend. I went to, instead of one dinner, I went to 4. Did I need to do that? No, that's excessive, right? Instead of one girl, I hung out with 3. Did I need to do that? No, that's
At the
excessive.
same time?
No, I wish. I can't even handle that, Chet. But my point is, like, when I was broke and alone, I sought God. When I came into some money and some attention, I sought other things, And yeah, I didn't drink and I didn't drug and I didn't want to, but why did I need to be validated by the things that almost crippled me beforehand? So I'm lucky I have this program, right? I'm lucky I live in 10, 11, and 12. I'm lucky I do my inventory and I speak to my sponsor. And, I could preach Jesus all I want. But in the Luke exercise we did last week, it said motives matter to the Messiah. When I opened that on Sunday, I'm like, oh, this is awesome, right? And all week, I'm like, motives matter. And I'm doing my inventory, and I realized something. I still have everything I need. And now that I got some of the things I prayed for, Matthew 21:22, basically says everything you pray for, you're going to get. I got it all except for the wife. Maybe God's protecting me with that one. But I know I have everything I prayed for. So I have everything I need. So now it's a matter of, do I want it or do I need it? And it's even, if I want to dig deeper, it's, do I want it or do I want people to see me have it? And so when I start realizing all that, the bottom line is, nothing's going to fulfill me like my relationship with God. And the better it is, the more the devil comes. I said this too, right? Favored by God, you're favored by the devil. So life is great. I have everything I lost and then some. Now what? Now it's hold on even tighter. Hold on even tighter. So that's what I'm doing, and I love it. I love that I'm learning and I'm still aware, and I have a lot more to go. I got a lot more to learn, and I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm aware to see that, rather than just give up everything that got me this far to this moment. And I'm over my time. I'm sorry, guys, but thank you. This has been an awesome meeting. I needed this tonight. Thanks.
We love you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Great share, Joe. And it reminded me of this podcast that we did last week, I believe it was, where the guy asked me, he said, do you seek God more when times are tough or when times are good? And if I have to answer that honestly, I seek God more when times are tough. But let me tell you what the reality should be. We should seek God the same, whether times are tough, in between, or amazing. We should seek him always exactly the same. And that's the lesson that I learned, and that's the lesson that I got from you right now today, Joe, because like when things are good, man, we get clean, man.
Promises.
And AA has promises. Narcotics Anonymous only has one, and that's freedom from active addiction. But with freedom from active addiction comes everything else I've ever wanted, and what I can't forget is when things are beautiful like that, to continue to turn my will and my life over to the care of God every single day, every single minute, and not take my will back, because I want to take my will back when things are good. I'm like, I got it, God. And the last time I did that, I drove the bus into a brick wall and, stuck a needle back in my arm. So thanks for your share, Joe. It was really good. Loved it. Karen.
Hello. Hi, everyone. My
Karen.
name is Karen, and I'm an alcoholic. It's a pleasure to be here. It's my second time. And Nicole, thank you for your share. Nicole's part of of my Covina sober family. So love you.
Love you too.
I didn't know you were gonna be here tonight, so I'm happy to be here. So today, I noticed you, well, talking about temptation, right? So today is actually my 666th day of sobriety.
Nice.
Amazing.
I'm not superstitious, but it's just interesting how that just tends to fall on today.
Six.
But no, anywho, just very thankful, very grateful to be here. I'm enjoying this meeting. It's really just different. I can relate with what you shared, Nicole, with in terms of being the only child. I also am the only child, so definitely a lot. And I also, I love AA because regardless if I'm here, like at home or present or something, like I know I'm safe. I know that I can be vulnerable and open and that I will be accepted no matter what. With that being said, I also want to say that I was familiar, well, I could identify with when you said that you had a miscarriage because I've actually sadly got to have a second miscarriage through AA, well, during my AA time. So, that was something that I thought I could not only not go through it, but, I didn't know if I was going to stay sober or not, but I did, and I'm thankful. And something else that I just wanted to share is that big cat, my Sprinkles. She crossed the bridge, the Rainbow Bridge. I don't even know how to say it. So that's been really tough, really difficult. I've never had a cat before, nor a dog, nor a child. So 15 years being with one pet, it's a lot. It's a great loss, and some days are so hard. But I know I have this program and all of you to, call to share and feel safe. Don't feel judged. And just let it out, express my feelings and emotions, and not pick up because I won't change anything. It would just make matters worse. And now I'm
Absolutely.
happy that I get to feel that pain that I always masked with alcohol. Now I'm glad that I get to feel that. It sucks, but it's life, right? So anyway, I just wanted to share that, and thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Karen.
Karen.
Thanks, Karen.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Valerie Gonzalez.
Hi, I'm Valerie, alcoholic addict, and I'm so thankful for your story because I relate a lot. Just being so young, 13, and starting the smoking and the drinking, you think it's it's just the thing to do because you're in middle school, high school, and for myself, I didn't realize I had generational curses that just opening those doors, it was already leading me to destruction, and I just really resonate with how you said about having reservations. And I left rehab last year. I graduated from it in April, and my dad was dying of cancer. So in my head, I was already telling myself, like, when my dad goes, I'm gonna lose it because that was my best friend. He was in addiction too, so he's the only one who really understood me. And just being transparent. And I love that Karen really touched on this, that that's what this group is for, because sometimes we want to hide it, but then that's when we're not reaching out for help, and it's easier to stay stuck in the guilt and the shame. But this whole last year has been just, I feel like not as bad as I was before, right? We always say that, like, we have control, and because now I have a place and I have my kids back. But at the same time, it's like, it's only a matter of time until, the enemy comes and we lose it all because we think we have it under control. And so that just really resonated with me, and just knowing that, yeah, my dad passed, but you're so inspiring, because I haven't been able to stay sober, and I've had a month here and days here, which has been the longest since I've been 13. But still, it's like, I know it's only, like I said, going to lead to destruction. And my dad passed away because of cirrhosis. So it's like, I've had prime examples. My brother-in-law passed 3 years ago of fentanyl. My friend passed of an overdose 3 years ago too. So it's like, I know God gives us all these warnings. Like, how many times could I keep saving you? Like, it's the same for everyone. It's institutions or death. And so just hearing you really helped me, because it's like, okay, I'm not the only one who's went through grief and trying to stay sober. So even though, like I said, I've been slipping up, it's awesome that to have that inspiration and know that, like, it's possible. And just even how you said about leaving your relationship, that's something I applaud you for, because in relationships, especially toxic ones like that, I was in domestic violence, and I was getting forced to drink, and he was mixing my drinks together, and that actually enhanced my addiction without knowing it. So all that to say is, like, that's why now when I try to get sober, all these things are coming up. But it's like, I gotta feel the emotions, and that's the only way to healing. But obviously, what do we do? What we're used to, coping with drugs, alcohol, So yeah, I just, hearing everyone tonight, it really just gave me more inspiration on what I want to do and how I just need to get sober. So thank you guys, and thank you for letting me just let my walls down.
Thanks, Valerie.
Thank you, Valerie.
And I'm glad that you're here, because that's also important too, is that you showed up tonight. You showed up for yourself, and you showed up because this is a fight. So it's like, yeah, you might be saying, it's been difficult for you to stay consistently sober, but you're here tonight, and that's a W in my book. And I think that's a great accomplishment, because you very well could have just stayed off this Zoom, or not raised your hand, or not been honest. And that's what, we have to do, because it's super uncomfortable, especially when we're kind of telling on ourselves.
Exactly.
Our secrets keep us sick.
Mm-hmm.
And the disease wants us isolated. Just so you guys know, like,
sure.
it wants us isolated. Our disease lives in our head. It wants us isolated. It wants us to think that we're different and that nobody else understands. And I can tell you that everybody in this room understands.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the one thing, and I say this often, and one thing that we all know is the pain that we've caused, not just to ourselves, but to others. We know what shame and guilt feel like. And we know what it feels like to feel hopeless and helpless.
Mm-hmm.
So
or even the shame and guilt that we feel like when we do make a mistake, or we do fall, because like relapse is part of our story up here, where it's like you feel guilty or shameful, or all of these things that are a lie. And yes, it's okay, it's a healthy sense to have in you at times, but it's like that's kind of stuff keeps you out of the rooms too. Right. And keeps you in your sickness, and keeps you in your disease.
I couldn't walk back in the rooms because I felt so ashamed. I was so embarrassed. Like, I was embarrassed to walk in and pick up a newcomer chip. And that's why I do this stuff right here, like this, or I show up to a meeting. I don't show up to a meeting for the people that have time and are working a program, or to drop knowledge of whatever bullshit. I show up so that the newcomer or the person who just came back from a relapse knows that they're in the right place.
Yes, and they're welcome.
And that they're loved.
Like we cheer anybody that comes on, especially our Zoom, or anybody that we see in person, or anybody that actually comes back to treatment. We cheer them. We throw them a party. It's like, but it says it in the Bible. Jesus leaves the 99 to go get the one, So it's like the same thing. I see so much correlation with the big book to the Bible, and like going back on the whole like roaring like a lion to devour us. It says it in our big book too, like resting on our laurels. It's like I did the same thing, and Chad has too. I know that I can speak for him, where it's like once you start getting the little things back in life that are like a normalcy, where it's like a driver's license or something like very small or minute to like the average person, but to us we start thinking like we're balling, or we got this. And then all of a sudden, I mean, it says it in the Bible where it's like, be watchful and have a sober mind, because it's like that that when things start to happen, or even in business, when things start to like, oh, here we go, we got like a good opportunity, or things seem to be opening up for us, you don't think the devil's right there ready to devour us? So if it's like, if we're not diligent and if we're not spiritually fit, where we're like staying actively connected, it will take us out, because it'll linger on like the insecurities or the self-doubt or whatever it may be. And just because we have a little bit of time today, it doesn't mean that it won't take us out of our sober mind, which is like just as important of being in like a good business relationships, or just in your normal day-to-day relationships, marriage, friendship, things of that. It will spill over. So it's like it tells us in so many areas to be diligent and be watchful for these things, because unfortunately we do have the other part of us that is lingering and waiting to just grab
the
hold.
disease wants us dead.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe B put it out there on his share. It's like, constantly check your motives. You know, we can go and do whatever we want to do, but are my motives pure?
Right.
You know, am I showing up for the right reason? Am I showing up to serve God and others, or am I showing up to serve myself and my ego and show, you know, like, sure, you can, you know, I get to live a life way beyond anything I ever imagined now. But what that means is, you know, for me, it means that I've been rewarded to continue to give and give and give back and give back and give more. And I don't show up to any of this crap for myself, because I will tell you, the times I have showed up to do a speaking engagement or anything like that, and I show up for myself, I fuck up. Whenever we show up, whenever Natalie and I show up for a speaking engagement, before we even go up on stage, we pray. We ask,
because we have to check ourselves too, because God will, for sure, especially I think with Chad and I too, is like, you know, this means so much to us that it can get where we can get in our heads quite often, but like God will humble you too, and he has no problem with sitting your ass down. And I do not want to be sat down again. I don't want to do it. I'm like, Jesus,
in front of a crowd of people.
No,
it's
sir.
It's the worst, man. But I show up for I show up for Justin. I show up for God. I show up for Justin, and I show up for the addict and the alcoholic that's still out there suffering every time. Like,
and I show up for this team, because they didn't have to let me in, and they did. So if I can't do that, then what am I doing?
Right.
Which helps me get out of me.
Anyways, God is good all the time.
All the
time. And,
oh my God, we have 3 already? What?
Yeah.
All of a sudden? I thought we were just bumping our gums because we thought we had...
I didn't. Their hands are... Undead's been up for a while.
Oh my gosh.
I was just letting you chat.
You were chatty before me. Chatty. Don't let him do this to me, guys.
Amanda.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. What a good meeting this is. Wow, you guys have touched on so many things. I don't even know where to begin.
Wait, Amanda. Wait. Mute yourself and then try it again.
And try it again. It sounds like you're drowning underwater.
Thank you, Rachel.
Or you're a robot, one of the two.
Okay, try again.
Can you hear me?
Oh, no.
No.
You sound underwater.
It's terrible.
Okay.
Wait, we'll come back. Log out.
Log off and
then
back
log
on.
back in. Yeah.
And then we'll go to Kelly for a second.
Hey guys, do
Hi,
I
Kelly.
sound like I'm underwater?
Nope.
No.
Okay. How about now? No, I'm just kidding. So thank you for sharing. Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. See,
He got it right.
I almost got
time.
tripped up. So I've been hearing a lot of good and like just fire spits after fire spits from everybody, like just bits of knowledge and just I'm new to recovery. I'm 7 months clean, so
Congratulations.
Thank you. Spent 10 years under the influence of three things: everybody on here knows pretty much my story, kind of a little bit. I've I started to get back into church, so I started to do my catechism classes for the adults, and I went to the Lord's Grotto today to do my homework because I'm playing catch up, and I need 2 more assignments to go. And on the way over there, I played just some gospel music and was talking to God. And I said, hey, just let me know that this is what you want me to do and this is the right thing for me. And I walked around, and there's a place where you can go and sit with Jesus, and there's 12 empty seats where you could sit with him. And it just so happened uh, I guess like the assignments that we were doing, it was the questions were 6 and 7 because I'm playing catch up, and it was about the church and the process of the communion and how to pray and everything like that, and then how to pray the rosary and stuff like that. So then I sat there with him and I prayed the rosary with them and stuff like that. So I took that as a sign of him telling me like, hey, this is where you're supposed to be and how I'm supposed, like, I guess like that I'm on the right road. um, Things like that. And for me, I kind of need the reassurance, because I know I can't do it on my own. I have my dog and I have my mom and stuff like that, but um, it's a different relationship. I think when I go to church, it's kind of just me and him, and it's a great feeling. I can't describe it. It's peace.
Mm.
But yeah. So just thank you guys for letting me participate and be here, and just I'm glad to have found you guys, and thanks.
Yeah, thank
Thanks,
you,
Kelly. You're doing it.
Yep, doing it.
Chuck Zamzao.
Zamzao.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Nicole, I love your share today. And I liked how you talked about your friends were enjoying themselves and you weren't. And I related to that wholeheartedly because I was the same way too when I was dry for a while, watching my buddies do what they were doing and developing a resentment. And eventually it decided to catch up with me and wanted to have that drink again. And then obviously I'm sitting in the meeting tonight, and I've sat in many meetings after that. You guys talked about a lot of things today that I've been thinking about a lot. God has to check me before I wreck myself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to keep my motives in check. And I like how Joe was talking about that today. I'm not trying to cross talk, but my motive, am I doing the next right thing without a pat on the back? I got to remember that. Is it for me or is it for the other person? And the newcomer to me is the most important person to me.
Yes, sir.
And I've ran into a lot of newcomers this last few weeks, and stuck close to them and talked with them and gave them phone numbers because when in doubt, give me a call. And I don't care if it's 2 in the morning, call me. If I don't answer, I'll call you back. Because that's important because I know where they were at. It's a dark place, and that dark place sucks. The darkness will catch up if I let it. And I got to remember that too. And there's so many things going on. We got holidays coming up. And every time around this time of year, I double up on meetings. I double up on other things for myself. But I also share with others that the holidays are coming up. And if anybody's new or newer, have those phone numbers ready. Have everything ready on hand. Because if you feel uncomfortable, there's a way out. Call somebody. Bring somebody with you in the recovery. Talk about that. Talk about that a lot with my friends. And it's just, I'm going through some stuff right now mentally, buddies that have got cancer and learning how to deal with that. That's why I got that picture up behind me, because one buddy in the green shirt got cancer real bad, and he was there at the beginning of my recovery. And he's a normie. He's just a normal guy, but he understood that I had to do whatever I had to do, whatever it took to stay straight and narrow and be gifted this life that I've been given. And I owe a lot to that guy. I owe a lot to the other gentlemen too. And I talk about them a lot because they were key figures, just like many. So, not gonna try to get emotional, but man, this shit works, man. And I'm not trying to swear healer today, but man, I got a lot of emotion on recovering. That's all I got.
We love you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
Okay, Amanda, bring us on home if it works.
Amanda, let's do this.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you're back in business.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Yay. What I was just saying, I've heard so many, you guys have touched on so many amazing things from the share to your guys' conversation. I don't even know where to begin. It's so good. But, you guys were talking a lot about how like the devil will just come and get you out of nowhere. And like this disease just like lies in waiting. And, I had something happen to me like a week ago. I changed jobs and, I found out that like they don't drug test at this new job. And like as soon as I read that, like instantly my mind was like, I could smoke weed and like no one would know. And it was just like the thought just like came so fast and like took hold for like a minute. And I really was like, oh, I could go into like starting to like plan it. But then I, thank God, caught myself. And I was like, where did that come from? But like, it comes from me being an addict or, alcoholic. And it comes from this disease and it comes from the devil. And it comes from doing that for 20 plus years. And so thankfully what I've learned is, not to shame myself and be like, what's wrong with me? Like it's expected. But it just was so on par with what you guys were talking about, how like it still gets you like out of nowhere. It was like a Tuesday at 10 a.m. and it was like, boom. And I'm just grateful I was able to ride the wave and get past it. But it really like, we have to be so diligent, like you guys were talking about, because this will come. It wants us dead. It wants us high. It wants us drunk. It wants us alone, and it wants us broken. It makes me emotional, but it's like, you guys were talking about the promises and everything we get back. And I too have gotten back almost everything and more. And, it's so easy to get complacent. And I have to remember the pain of my rock bottom. And, I did lose everything. And Chad, you were talking about how like the pain finally had to become so terrible that I had to change. Like there was just no other option for me. I had to change. And I have to remember one hit of a blunt, one beer, one anything, I will lose it all. And like, thankfully that scares me enough to stop me, but I have to be diligent because one day I could be in some kind of mood and it'll come. And so we just have to be diligent. And, I resonated with the speaker. I had to leave a 10-year abusive marriage with 2 kids. And I thought, things were going to be better. And I went to the pits of rock bottom after that. But I'm thankful that happened because it cleared the path for the desperation got so much that I'm here healing and getting it all back. But I don't even know. There was just so many things that I resonated with. So thank you again for an awesome meeting. And to the girl who spoke that, is having a hard time, that was me. I was like a chronic relapser. And there's no shame in it. The only shame is not giving, not coming back, giving up. Because I know you said you had your kids, but those will be gone. They can be gone. It happened to me and we just all have to be so careful. So anyways, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate you guys.
Oh, look at us. We ended up right on time.
It's 7:00.
Look at us.
That's pretty good.
Doing it.
I just want to remind everybody that an addict, any addict, can get clean, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. And if you didn't get loaded today, you're a fucking miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It is not normal. It is an abnormal state of mind for me to be sober. And I didn't have to use today. And I have actually lost the desire to use. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that it doesn't creep in sometimes. But like Natalie was saying earlier is I stay diligent on a daily basis, and I work my program every single day because I can't rest on yesterday's program. Mm-hmm. I can't live today on yesterday's program and think that I'm gonna do this thing. It talks about it in the Alcoholics Anonymous book. We have a daily reprieve based on our spiritual maintenance. Mm-hmm. You know, and I feel like they got it right because that's the program that I choose to do, you know, the 12-step program. And, you know, the only thing that fills the void inside of me, besides that first time I felt it with drugs,
Right.
and then it was a big lie every day after that for the next however many years that went on, is God, you know, and I think Kelly, peace. I feel peace. And I never felt peace before.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, thank you guys for showing up. If you made it this far, 40, somebody just dropped off. Unbelievable.
It might have been me that I closed my computer.
Oh, okay. It better
Oh
have been
wait,
you.
look it. I'm still there.
You are? So 42 people.
Where's my dad? He's ready to dance.
Is he? Where is he? There he is.
He's ready for you
Yeah,
to
so-
lie to him, Chad.
42 people made it to the end. We are the only online Zoom recovery meeting in the whole entire universe that dances out that I know of.
That's right.
That's how you know it's not a lie.
And that's how he's keeping an honest program.
That's how we're going. There might be another one out there, and if you guys hear about any other program or that dances out, just don't tell me so I can keep saying this amazingness.
I don't understand how my dad like dances and there's not music yet. Look at him.
He's
like
gone.
raising the
He's
roof.
going. Everybody does everybody have their camera on? Because we about to dance out.
Jovi.
Oh, really quick
Nobody
though.
told me about the dance out.
Oh yeah, you gotta stand up. No,
Okay.
what are you
okay.
talking about? We stand up, we get on the table, and we break
Oh
dance.
boy.
Are you ready
Look
for
at the
this?
lies are getting so much bigger.
Bigger and bigger and bigger. Hit the button.
Okay, let's go.
God, grant
grant
me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Keep coming
Amen.
back.
Keep coming back. See
We
you
love you
guys next
guys.
week.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Recording